on the drug baron issue, that no iota of evidence was found against me.
Hiya guys, back to our YouTube channel. Thanks for your great support. Unaona guys, kama Rigathi Gachagua ataendelea hivi, then William Ruto mwisho wake ni 2027. Wakati William Ruto alichukua jukumu guys ya kuimpeach huyu jamaa, William Ruto alielewa vizuri sana huyu jamaa ataenda kupumzika, atatulia in the next coming 10 years ndiposa aweze kurejea. Kanaweza tafuta mambo ya uongozi, kanaweza tafuta mambo ya kufanya, kanaweza taka kufanya mambo ya siasa. Itakuwa after 10 years. William Ruto alijua hivyo, na ndo akapewa advice aweze kufukuza Rigathi Gachagua, akaamua kufanya hivyo. So now William Ruto ameanza kulilia kwa choo. Mimi nawaambia tu, ameanza kulia vizuri sana. Umeona wakati ambapo KTN News walijaribu kufuatilia jinsi ambavyo hizi drugs, cocaine, ziliweza kupitishwa Jomo Kenyatta International Airport by one of the Britain cartel. Kumbuka William Ruto hakuongea chochote. Kumbuka Raila Odinga hakuongea chochote. Hawakujaribu kuongelelea kitu kaa hiyo. Hiyo story ilizimika chini ya maji. And now hiyo story imeanza kuwa popular hapa Kenya. Raila Odinga ameanza kuja na blames to opposition team ili hiyo story izimike. Raila Odinga is saying that through his secretary, personal secretary, he's saying that Rigathi Gachagua and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and Eugene Wamalwa ndo wanajaribu kueneza rumors kwamba Raila Odinga ni msiki and anytime anaweza kuwa anatuacha. And don't forget, Raila Odinga is telling us that the same people waliweza kuhusika kuchangia kuanguka kwake kwa AUC chairmanship pale Addis Ababa. So nataka kuuliza swali mbili. Ya kwanza, nataka uniambie kama umeona any opposition leader, Rigathi Gachagua, Stephen Kalonzo, Eugene Wamalwa ama Martha Karua ama Fred Matiang'i wamejaribu kucommence about Raila Amolo Odinga's illness. Nataka uniambie tu kwenye comment section kama umeona any clip ya hao majamaa ama umejaribu kupost ama umejaribu kuzungumzia. Niambie tu kwenye comment section kama umeona. Number 2, nataka nikuulize, Rigathi Gachagua alichangia vipi Raila Odinga kuanguka AUC in Addis Ababa? Ukiangalia hiyo statement, I'm going to read to you. Ukiangalia hiyo statement, these people are serious with that thing that Rigathi Gachagua ndo anajaribu kueneza rumors kwamba Raila Odinga ni msiki na anytime anaenda kutuacha. No guys, that's why Rigathi Gachagua is coming responding. Na Rigathi Gachagua amerespond hadi ile story inaendelea pale JKA, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. That's why unaona hii brief statement, that's why unaona hii statement ya Raila Odinga imekuja ili Wakenya wa focus hapo, wasijaribu kufocus kwa ile story ya airport. Unaona venye drugs zilipita na Rigathi Gachagua amewa expose makartels ambao wana deal na drugs wako kwa serikali ya William Ruto, na ametaja na amejaribu kutaja majina. And show me like video na anasema thanks for your great support. Nyinyi ni watu wa nguvu zaidi. Hii ni statement kwanza imekuwa released by Raila Amolo Odinga himself through his secretary, personal secretary. Skiza. The political formation of impeached former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and his struggling team of Kalonzo Musyoka and Eugene Wamalwa, among others, are on familiar campaign of misinformation on the health of former Prime Minister and ODM party leader Raila Odinga. The misinformation is broadcast by the same team that went on a fancy against Honorable Raila's bid for the chairmanship of the African Union Commission earlier this year. Gachagua, Kalonzo, and co have copped actions of the traditional media that are happily picking feeds from bloggers, including AI-generated images, and broadcasting them as some kind of investigation, breaking news. Unaona guys, the hope of this team then and now is a bully now Raila to provide a back for them to ride on in their struggle against President William Samoei Ruto. Eti kwamba Rigathi Gachagua wanajaribu kubull Raila Odinga ili aweze kuachana na William Ruto na kusupport upande wa opposition. So now you can just imagine hiyo statement ya hata hakuna kitu hapo. Ani baadaye unatuambia Raila Odinga alichomoka on Friday akaelekea nchi ya nje ili kufanya nini? Shughuli zake na sio shughuli za matibabu. Sikiza Rigiji.
No. I want us to talk about the recent matter that has come up, and this is with regard to the whereabouts of one Raila Odinga, fellow principal in broad-based government. And his whereabouts is not known, but you have been accused. A statement from ODM says that you and your team are sending fake news to Kenyans with regard to Raila's whereabouts and his health.
I'm very saddened by ODM. ODM has sunk so low. Since they allowed William Ruto to destroy ODM, it's no longer the party that it was. That is very cheap to start with. Myself, I spent the whole of yesterday here with Mohammed Ali. Mohammed Ali is MP for Nyali and the man who has taken charge of our movement in the Coast region. Very capable young man. And things are going to happen in the Coast province because the area is one term, but they were waiting for us to identify a leader to work around the Coast province. I never had access to social media. And I slept early. This morning when I woke up, I was told there is a letter that ODM is accusing me and Kalonzo and Wamalwa of giving misinformation that Raila is unwell. I was not even aware whether he's unwell or whether there are rumors that he's unwell. To start with, I don't take much time myself thinking about Raila Odinga because the day I realized him and William Ruto are one and the same, I concentrated on William Ruto. Because there is no difference between Raila Odinga and William Ruto. So you don't have to concentrate on two personalities when they are one. So I concentrate on William Ruto. And I don't bother about Raila Odinga. And I have no interest in where he goes, or whether he's out of the country, whether he has left, whether he's leaving. It is none of my business. So I was not even aware he's out of the country, or he is unwell, or he is said to be unwell. To start with, being unwell is not a crime. And I want to tell leaders and the people of Kenya, there is no crime in being unwell. When I was a senator, I was taken unwell, I went to hospital. And a leader is a human being and you can get unwell. So there is nothing so big about somebody's health, whether you are a leader or not. And when I looked at that letter, it's so amateurish. You know, it's so cheap. To start with, you must respect the people of Kenya. If a leader is said to be unwell and he is well, you just ignore and go on with life. You don't have to say you are not unwell. Why should you bother? Number two, if you feel that the rumors are bothering you and you need to tell people you are well, you don't have to write a letter. All you need to do is do a few activities here and there, and then people can see you are well, and the matter just dies. President Moi, the second president of the Republic of Kenya, used to do it that way. He would disappear for 5-6 days. He would say, Moi is sick. Then he would turn up at KICC and brisk walk from KICC to Harambee House. The matter just ends. These characters of Raila, what they would have done if they thought their rumors is unwell and they want to say, and they are bothered, and they shouldn't be bothered anyway, but if they are bothered, they should have just organized some activity. And even say, if they say he's out of the country, they are not even saying which country. You know, they are even the one creating more suspicion because you are saying he's not in Europe. If you say he's not in Europe and you have nothing to hide, just say where he is. Looking at it, there are two fronts in my thinking. It's political mischief. One, if Raila Odinga will not run and he'll support William Ruto, a lot of people from Luo Nyanza are saying that if Kalonzo is on the ballot and Raila is not on the ballot, almost 40% would vote for him because he has stood with Raila for 15 years. So I think this was a scheme to try to create a wedge between the Luo nation and Kalonzo Musyoka. Myself, I've never supported Raila Odinga, and even the other day I was saying I felt bad. I asked people to support Ruto, who had said we support Raila, and I say I think I made a mistake. I have taken back that statement. I didn't make any mistake because Raila would have just been like Ruto. The two are the same. So there is no mistake that I made. I think it is okay. Even if Raila was elected, he would still have behaved like Ruto. He would have gotten Ruto, they root the country together the way they are doing today. So for me, I don't know why they are bringing me into this matter. But I'm also aware that Ruto is so scared about my candidature that he's willing to give money to anybody who attacks me. So I think the ODM fellows were setting the stage to start attacking me so that they said Ruto videos so that they can have some money. And I think that's what has happened the whole day. Where does Rigathi Gachagua comes in the issues of Raila? Have I posted anything? Have I said anything about Raila? I was even unaware that he's out of the country. But and it doesn't matter anyway.
But they say where there's smoke, there's fire.
Someone
can just wake up and say
but you must start somewhere and say Rigathi wrote somewhere. He spoke somewhere. I was not even aware that the old man is out of the country or whether he has any challenge or otherwise, you know. But I know that a lot of people, I have seen many people nowadays, they attack me in all forums. That's why you see there's so much attack against me. Then they get videos, they said William Ruto, they get some money. And it's a pity that ODM is a pale shadow of his former self. William Ruto told me when we were close that he would destroy ODM. He'll use money, he'll buy Raila, he'll buy close family members. He negotiated the sale of ODM with Junet and Joho, and it's true, he has destroyed ODM. In Western Province, they could not get a candidate for Malava. They could not get a candidate for Kisa East. ODM has been destroyed by William Ruto. And just a few characters, Joho, the governor, Wanga, and Junet, they are the ones who are muking. All these other low MPs, they are just shouting. They are not getting anything out of the whole equation. So this party has sunk so low that they can sit down to accuse me and Kalonzo of wishing Raila ill. Let me tell you, my brother, we are not those kind of people. Doesn't matter who, even William Ruto, we have never wished him ill health. Even Raila, we have no reason. In fact, my prayer is that God gives Raila long life and good health. And I pray to God that he supports William Ruto so that we defeat the two of them in 2027. It will be very, very nice for me. I'll feel very good because we would like to deal with Kenya's problem once and for all. And it's the two characters because they are one and the same. They are looting the country together. All these things that are happening in the country, if it was not Raila support, Ruto would not be doing it. But as wishing him ill, wishing him bad, I'm not kind of a person. Right. And I'm really not bothered to what is happening to him or where he goes. Drugs are being smuggled through JKIA.
Who in his cabinet is in charge of that?
You have seen the photographs. The people who are smuggling drugs through the airport, you have seen their photographs with the cabinet minister. And everybody knows that cabinet minister who is a drug baron. There are two. And I asked William Ruto, he had put me in charge of fighting drugs and alcoholism. When he was appointing these two ministers, I asked him, Mr. President, where does that leave me? How do I continue with this war on drug abuse when I'll be sitting in the same cabinet with the drug barons? That expose that has happened at the airport, if William Ruto has any decorum remaining, he must sack that minister. The evidence is there. The people who are smuggling drugs through JKIA, the photographs with his minister is there. And you can see clearly that the minister is actually the one who is facilitating, you know, the peddling of the smuggling of drugs through the airport, because the drugs that have been caught, the documentation was saying that they are minerals that are going for testing. So the ministry is being used for drug trafficking because the minister has been a drug baron, and it is in public domain. Everybody knows. There is nobody in this country who doesn't know. But William Ruto has no qualm. Because of his own business interest with that minister and the deals they are doing together, he has no qualms about appointing a fellow involved in drugs to the cabinet when our children are in trouble. How does William Ruto face parents today? And you know, he was telling parents that they are responsible for bad upbringing. When he has appointed ministers who are peddling drugs, they are sitting in his cabinet. When now there is evidence that that minister and his associates are involved in drug trafficking, how does he face parents and accuse them of bad upbringing when his minister, who is his business partner, is involved in drug peddling, cocaine, hard drugs in this country? These are some of the things, Dennis, that got me very tired. And today, in fact, I feel very relieved I'm not part of that government. I don't know how I'll be able now. This week, I would have gone to cabinet after what happened at JKIA. I don't know how I would have gone to sit in that cabinet with that minister when I was in charge of fighting drugs and alcoholism on behalf of government, and then I have to sit with the minister who is facilitating drug trafficking in the country.
On the drug baron issue, you know, the irony for me is that when you want to pick records selectively, that is what that is what challenges me. The quagmire for me is I don't understand. If you come and table a report, obviously there must be some subsequent actions. And I want to also, this is one matter that I really hope we can put to permanent closure, Mr. Speaker. When I was campaigning in 2013 in Mombasa, there were billboards put up. Don't vote the Baron, vote change. Mr. Speaker, let me begin with that report. Yes, I totally tabled the report on a dossier that he was given, that was passed to him through the American embassy. What normally happens is that when you table or pass a dossier, it is investigated, I believe. It is worked on. So that happened. The late Honorable Saitoti, may the Almighty rest his soul in eternal peace, came back to Parliament with a report. He came back to Parliament and tabled a report of investigation and the outcome. And it was a multi-agency, almost international investigation that clearly stated, and I'm going to only speak for myself, that no iota of evidence was found.
Did you or have you ever been suspected or charged with drug trafficking?
I want to say here on record, Mr. Speaker, I have never, ever dealt with drugs of any kind all my life. Mr. Speaker, this is... Not even Panadol? Mr. Speaker, I do not imagine that Junet Mohammed was asking about Panadol. I have some in my pocket if it's just Panadol. But I know he's talking about hard... You know what he means. He's talking about hard drugs, cocaine and the rest. And this is a very disturbing subject, Mr. Speaker. But I invite Kenyans also to have a look at the dossier that Mr. Saitoti brought to the House. It's a dossier such that, Mr. Speaker, if it was given to Inspector Mwala, it would not pass Mr. Mwala's table for a script.
Mr. Speaker, let me put it this way. I'm not a fool. I come from a family that is blessed with businesses. And I am thankful to Almighty for what I have. So number one, that investigation was concluded. Number two, Honorable Mercy, first time as governor, I was the greatest critic of the Jubilee administration. Had lots of personal altercation. They came after me in businesses, in many fronts. Don't you think for a minute, if I was involved in any illegal activity, I would have survived that regime?
If, Mr. Speaker, at that point in time, and records speak here in this House, I fought vigorously the tabling of our names without a leave of the House, because the rules are such that if you are discussing the conduct of an MP, you need to move a substantive motion. But for that particular one, it went through smoothly as planned. But my point here, Mr. Speaker, the government or agencies, the police, did a thorough investigation, and they gave a temporary report a month later, which was tabled and is part of the records of this House, and they found that I was not culpable. I had never been involved in drug trafficking, and I had never been a driver of the Honorable Mao as that dossier.
Differences within the united opposition that you say does not exist, especially with the presence of one Fred Matiang'i.
There are no differences at all. As I've told you, we have a 2-2 movement. We are two horses. The one-term movement versus William Ruto. If you leave the united opposition and go on your own, you'll be a third force. The people of Kenya will not accept the third force. Mm-hmm. The other day they tried to form something called Sijui Kenya Moja, something. But, you know, God is gracious to the people of Kenya. Before we could go far, one of the people who was pushing that thing was unmasked by a root of people saying this is one of our own. We are the ones who have sent her to spy for the opposition. It died. That is what will happen. And Kenyans are also very intelligent. All these moles sent by Ruto into the opposition, people know them. They see through them. They read. They know, and they tell us that is a mole, that is a mole, that is a Ruto person, that is this. Let me tell you, this thing will be a 2-horse race. The rest are donkeys. Mm-hmm. Whoever is picked by the united opposition to face William Ruto is the one who will win and will be the 6th president of the Republic of Kenya. If anybody gets lost along the way and decides to abandon the people of Kenya and think you can go it on your own, you will not go far. The people of Kenya will say no. Kenyans have told us in uncertain terms to agree among ourselves and give them one candidate. And what we are doing right now, and people must know, I want our supporters to stop pushing their candidates to be announced president. It's not yet. See, this election is not like the other one. The 2022 election, Uhuru was exiting after 10 years. So the issue was who to replace him. This is not the issue, this election. First and foremost, we have to deal with the issue of William Ruto, because he is sitting president and he wants to come back. So the most important thing before we can decide who is to mobilize Kenyans and agree on a strategy on how to remove William Ruto from power. Then once we have the numbers, and politics is a game of numbers, then among ourselves we agree one person. And myself, I have said, I am presidential candidate. If I'm picked, I'll be very happy. I'll beat William Ruto in the morning. In case the formula does not favor me, it favors Kalonzo Musyoka, I'll support him the way I would have, campaigned for my own candidature. If it's Fred Matiang'i, the same. Martha Karua, the same. JB Muturi, the same. George Natabea, the same. But I can tell you, the little noise you are seeing is because William Ruto has planted a lot of moss in the opposition. He has infiltrated our various parties. Myself, when I was in office, he planted many people on me. And when I came out of office, I chased them away. Some have gone to Jubilee. So they are being used by William Ruto to cause problems within the opposition. And we have told leaders to be careful. If some Ruto moles have left my party and you are in the united opposition, don't allow them into yours, because he'll still use them to undermine the bigger united opposition. I am aware that William Ruto and the National Intelligence Service are trying to create a third force. This is what happened in 1992. Mike Kibaki was doing very well and he would have removed President Daniel Arap Moi. The National Intelligence Service hyped the candidature of Kenneth Matiba, who was abroad. And he came, they mobilized people at the airport, in Nakuru, everywhere. They created a hype. and they planted people and they convinced Matiba he must run. They divided the vote and William Ruto won. The same thing is happening. Many news agents have been planted, to us. Like myself, there was one who speaks my language, and then he will pretend, oh, Rigathi, you are one of our own, we are helping you with information from inside, and then he's trying to mislead me. And I refused. In fact, I hear he has been removed and sent to be a deputy ambassador somewhere because he has failed to influence me. I hear they have promoted somebody, Akamba, to try to manage Kalonzo. Another Kisi to try to manage Matiang'i, another one to manage Natembea, so that they can try to convince us separately that you can make it on your own. So that you create a third force to divide the opposition, then we can have a runoff, and then William Ruto, using state resources, can buy the ones who have lost and win in the re-election. So the good thing, like, they have been trying to create confusion by creating rumors that Kalonzo is going to State House at night, so that we can be suspicious of Kalonzo. But Kalonzo has been very forthright with us, and that's why we have stuck together. Anytime Ruto sends him emissary, he calls us and tells us. So that has built confidence, And now we are convinced Kalonzo cannot be swayed by anybody. But we know they have attached an officer to try to use a lot of hard attacks to try to persuade Kalonzo to join William Ruto. But he has refused to budge. So the little teething problems you are seeing, they are Ruto characters all over the opposition. You have found most of them, instead of attacking William Ruto and challenging his programs, they are attacking Rigathi Gachagua. You are saying you are in the opposition. This united opposition wants to send William Ruto home. But you, because you work for Ruto, but you are within the opposition, you move from one TV show to another attacking Rigathi Gachagua, who is in the opposition. So once we deal with that little thing of moles, the Ruto fellows in the opposition, I think we will steady the ship. Because the principals, myself, Kalonzo, Matiang'i, Wamalwa, Natembea, Muturi, Mada, Linturi, we are all solid. And we have discussed, and all of us are very committed. And I'm telling you, this will be a two-horse race. Mm-hmm. What happened in the 202? Once the candidate was picked, Kibaki got 62%. Uhuru got 31%. The one who created a third force, even in Nyachae, got 5.6%. What would happen if anybody is confused by Ruto that you are very popular, that you can go it on your own, you can make it alone, and you become a third force? The people of Kenya will abandon you the same day. The people of Kenya have decided there are two horses, Ruto and one-term movement. Whoever is a candidate for the one-term movement will beat Ruto 70+1. Any third force that Ruto will create using manipulation, bribery, National Intelligence Service to confuse you that you can run on your own and make it, I can tell you the people of Kenya where they are today. A decision has been made by the people of Kenya, and I listen to them. They want one candidate, they don't care who.
You seem to be speaking about the party that has said they would go alone.
No, I'm not saying.
Within the United Opposition, which is Jubilee.
I don't know, I'm just saying.
I want us to talk about a recent matter that has come up, and this is with regard to the whereabouts of one Raila Amolo Odinga, fellow principal in broad-based government. And his whereabouts is not known, but you have been accused. A statement from ODM says that you and your team are sending fake news to Kenyans with regard to Raila's whereabouts and his health.
I'm very saddened by ODM. ODM has sunk so low. Since they allowed William Ruto to destroy ODM, it's no longer the party that it was. That is very cheap to start with. Myself, I spent the whole of yesterday here with Mohammed Ali. Mohammed Ali is MP for Nyali and the man who has taken charge of our movement in the Coast region. Very capable young man. And things are going to happen in the Coast province because the area is one term, but they were waiting for us to identify a leader to work around the Coast province. I never had access to social media. And I slept early. This morning when I woke up, I was told there is a letter that ODM is accusing me and Kalonzo and Wamalwa of giving misinformation that Raila is unwell. I was not even aware whether he is unwell or whether there are rumors that he is unwell. To start with, I don't take much time myself thinking about Raila Odinga because The day I realized him and William Ruto are one and the same, I concentrated on William Ruto. Because there is no difference between Raila Odinga and William Ruto. So you don't have to concentrate on two personalities when they are one. So I concentrate on William Ruto. And I don't bother about Raila Odinga. And I have no interest in where he goes, or whether he's out of the country, whether he has left, whether he's leaving. It is none of my business. So I was not even aware he's out of the country, or he is unwell, or he is said to be unwell. To start with, being unwell is not a crime. And I want to tell leaders and the people of Kenya, there is no crime in being unwell. When I was a senator, I was taken unwell, I went to hospital. And a leader is a human being, and you can get unwell. So there is nothing so big about somebody's health, whether you are a leader or not. And when I looked at that letter, it's so amateurish. You know, it's so cheap. To start with, you must respect the people of Kenya. If a leader is said to be unwell and he is well, you just ignore and go on with life. You don't have to say you are not unwell. Why should you bother? Number two, if you feel that the rumors are bothering you and you need to tell people you are well, you don't have to write a letter. All you need to do is do a few activities here and there, and then people can see you are well, and the matter just dies. President Moi, the second president of the Republic of Kenya, used to do it that way. He would disappear for 5-6 days. People would say Moi is sick. Then he would turn up at KICC and brisk walk from KCC to Harambee House. The matter just ends. These characters of Raila, what they would have done if they thought their rumors is unwell and they want to say, and they are bothered, and they shouldn't be bothered anyway, but if they are bothered, they should have just organized some activity. And even say, if they say he's out of the country, they are not even saying which country. You know, they are even the one creating more suspicion, because you are saying he's not in Europe. If you say he's not in Europe and you have nothing to hide, just say where he is. Looking at it, there are two fronts in my thinking. It's political mischief. One, if Raila Odinga will not run and he'll support William Ruto, a lot of people from Luo Nyanza are saying that if Kalonzo is on the ballot and Raila is not on the ballot, almost 40% would vote for him because he has stood with Raila for 15 years. So I think this was a scheme to try to create a wedge between the Luo nation and Kalonzo Musyoka. Myself, I've never supported Raila Odinga, and even the other day I was saying I felt bad. I asked people to support Ruto, who had said we support Raila.